Alright, today we're going to show you how to install the ACC C7 hood panel set. Kind of a straightforward installation, not too difficult. It is best to take the hood off and put it on a nice sturdy table with a good blanket. Hood panel is extremely light. Maybe this thing weighs, I don't know. I doubt it even weighs 15 pounds. So what you're going to do first is you're going to take off your vent shroud. You're going to use a T15 torque driver for that. If you don't have one of those, you can find it in most any auto parts stores these days. Not an expensive tool to get. And then once you've unscrewed that, this kind of snaps out. You can see we've already installed the ACC vent grill in there. Now, the stainless steel panel that we're going to put in there is going to replace this factory hood pad. And the panel itself actually is an adequate thermal barrier, so you don't have to worry that taking this off and putting a stainless panel in there is going to threaten your paint or anything like that. Stainless steel hood panel actually works quite well. Now, to remove these, you can use various different tools. This is also a very common tool at an auto parts store, and you're just going to pull these clips right out. Now the next thing to do will be to prepare the surface. Since the stainless steel panel actually bond in, it's critical to prepare the surface real well. One of the first things that you're going to do is just kind of scuff down the perimeters. You see this thick 1 inch, almost 1 inch border around the opening here. You're going to scuff this. Actually, you're going to scuff the whole area down with a Scotch pad. Your kit's going to come with one of these. And you're just going to kind of rough this surface up. What this is going to do is it's going to increase the surface area that you're bonding to. Kind of on a microscopic level, but it actually does ensure that the panel bonds a lot better. So you want to scuff this all up like so. Now, when you do this, you're creating a lot of particle dust, which you'll need to remove. Done scuffing that down, you'll take a nice surface prep cleaner. Rubbing alcohol will work fine. You're going to want to get all that dust out of the area. You're going to be installing the center hood brace, which is part of this kit. That is a lighter, full tape piece. You don't really need to scuff that. You can if you like to, but it's probably not necessary. I would go over this just one more time. Okay, now your kit is going to come to you with a couple of these packets. This is not a cleaner, and it's an adhesive accelerator, and it really is important to allow the perimeter of these hood panels to bond to the hood in order to allow the silicone that's actually going to hold the hood panel to work. So you're going to take this chemical, it's a little sponge in here, and you'll squeeze that out. Just want to make it moist, and you're going to kind of run along the perimeter here. You don't have to saturate the area. You just need to get some of this chemical on there and you'll be fine. Okay. All right, now the hood panel is prepped. That's about all you have to do with this piece. The sections that go in are going to come to you pre-formed. However, it's really going to be important that you take a few minutes to just make sure that the panels really fit and contour perfectly. The panel will come to you like so, you know, with the basic shape in it. You're going to want to set it in. Careful not to scratch your sides going in. And you're just going to want to check the fit on this. You want to see that you're going to be able to contour. See how it has a little bit more, it could be bent in here. We want to take that shape and just tweak it a little bit so that the part actually rests nicely. By doing that, that will ensure that the part won't want to kind of detach itself down the road. So once you get it, just take a few minutes and tweak the shape. It's pretty easy to do. You're just going to kind of tweak it a little bit more. See how it's nice and contoured. And that's basically all you have to do to prepare the panel to fit into the hood. You'll do the same thing with the bottom section, and you'll also do the same thing with the center brace. Now, the procedure for installing this is this panel comes with red attachment tape on its perimeter. This is very good and very strong tape. However, this is not enough surface area to hold this panel. This panel's a little heavy. So what we're going to do to actually bond this into the hood is use clear 100% silicone. I don't recommend using anything else. Don't use any epoxies or liquid nails or Gorilla Glue or anything else like that. Clear 100% silicone will come with your kit. If you needed more, you can just go get it. We get this at Walmart, I think. A couple of dollars a tube. This works perfect. It does not get affected by expansion, contraction, hot or cold. It will not burn. So it's the perfect adhesive for this application. Now, before you set this in, you're going to want to scuff the area of this too a little bit. Anytime you can increase the surface area on something you're going to bond, it's a good idea. So we're just going to kind of scuff this like so. Do these steps and use these materials to bond this. The hood panel will stay in permanently, will not drop out of position. We've tested this many times over the past 10, 15 years or so, and we know that it works perfect. So there is no other alternate adhesive system. Okay. Now, before you actually peel and stick this in place, you're going to want to practice setting this panel into position. If you should tack this out of position, what's going to happen is the adhesive is not going to allow you to take this out and reposition it if it's in a little crooked or if it's in, a little offset. So you want to kind of practice setting it in so you get a good idea of how to go ahead and drop this in and familiarize yourself exactly how you're going to bond it. That's really, really important. So now that we've kind of got this all shaped out real nice, I like to use a couple of weights to hold the panel down into position. Of course, if you really shape this up really nicely, most of the times you don't have to use a weight on C7 hood, but it's not a bad idea if you have some. So what you're going to do is go ahead and prepare the silicone. Big round. So you want to go on all your higher peak points, and you're going to put like a small little ball glob in like so. And this is actually what's going to hold that hood panel in. It's not so much the red tape around it, but it's going to be this. And between the red tape and this silicone, that will be a permanent installation. So now that everything's prepped and you're ready to go, and you got a good idea how you're going to put it in, just going to peel this tape out. And then just carefully set it in place. And then go ahead around the perimeter and press it down. Now, there's so many contours of this hood that the tape isn't going to bond 100% completely around. You're going to have spaces. However, once you set it in and the silicone makes nice good contact, okay, just like that, that panel, once it sets and you're going to leave it overnight, it's going to set in there and fit perfectly and stay in permanently. Bottom section, same situation. You're going to kind of check the fit. Tweak the shape if you need to. This actually fits pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to drop this in. Now your center brace is going to come to you flat. The center brace has full tape on it, so it's going to stick real well. Well, I'm going to ask you to shape this. So you see how it comes. You're just going to want to set it on the hood and then just kind of tweak the shape a little, like so. If you think about it for a second, the better you form this piece of metal, the less chance that it's ever going to want to pop out of position. If you shape this to the hood real good and you bond it, that's the way it's going to stay. Metal doesn't generally bend by itself, so if you take the bend out of it, you should get a nice, long-lasting, really nice contour bond. So you just want to kind of check this. Shape the panel. See how that's all nice and shaped. That's exactly what you want. You do not want the adhesive to hold the shape of the part. Over time, heat, hot and cold, expansion and contraction of this composite hood, this could let loose. So you want to make sure that you take all the time you need to contour this perfectly. You'll never have any problems. Now again, this is another one of those situations where you really should practice setting this in. This is not going to let you tack this in the wrong position and lift it out and reposition it without ruining the part. It's a thin, relatively light piece of metal, so you want to make sure that you're going to drop this in exactly perfect. So you want to just kind of practice doing that a few times. Just get used to how you're going to set it in. This will be a lifesaver for you if you just take a couple extra minutes. Now, one of the things that can help you align this properly is you could cut a couple of crosshairs, like with a China marker or something. That'll help you to reposition it. We'll do that. Okay, you can kind of check your position on this. Once you got it in a perfect spot, you can just line this up, put a little crosshair in there, give you some positioning markers. This will help you to reset it exactly where you want it. Okay. So now I'm gonna unstick. Just line up my crosshairs. And it's really important to firmly press this onto the surface. This is what's actually really going to set the bond. You know, the tape is very aggressive. However, in order to set the bond, you have to push it right into all the molecules of that paint. And that's what's going to make this a permanent installation. So, once that's done, you can go ahead and peel. Before you put this back in the car, you want to go ahead and let that set overnight. It takes 24 hours for silicone to get to its maximum cure. But overnight, 8 hours or so, that'll give you a nice set. You go ahead and put the hood on. If you got time to wait, just let it go for the full 24 hours and you'll be in good shape. Now, what you have to do is put your shroud back on. Tomorrow morning, this will be ready to go right back on the car. That's how you put on the ACC hood panel.